Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am joined by the Misfortune Teller and your FSW Women's Champion, Gypsy Mac. How are you today?
I'm really good. How are you?
I am so good to be catching up with you. It's been a hot minute, but in that hot minute, you have accomplished so much, Miss Ma'am, including that title behind
Yeah.
you. Um, and I mean, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about this lovely display that you
My
have behind you of
giant collection.
Funko Pops and action figures. How long have you been accruing these? I'm so curious.
A long time. I used to work at Hot Topic before I started wrestling,
Hmm.
and I had customer that would come in all the time and collect pops, and I was like, I don't get it. And he was like, "Here, I'm gonna give you two, and then
Hmm.
let's just see what happens." And then I
Yeah.
got addicted.
Oh my God. See, I have two because my friend gifted me. I only have two though,
It didn't
because
work
my
on you.
friend gifted them. See, we were talking about this last time. My collection is crystals. I'm a crystal hoarder. So similar in that aspect. Now, is this the complete collection, or do you have others like stored elsewhere?
No, this is it. Everything that's on the
Okay.
wall. Yeah, I did
And
sell a lot.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those
And
sell
then I
really
do
well.
have more
Yeah.
all
Oh my
over the
God.
roof.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's
We
so
were
many.
saying, obviously, you have some wrestling, you have some non-wrestling ones. Like I said, I saw DX, I saw Seth Rollins, we saw Kurt Angle.
I think
Um,
I have so many Seth Rollinses,
well,
I think.
honestly, I'm gonna make you show me some of these if you don't mind, because like I feel like we have to. Like, show us some of your non-wrestling ones. I'm so
Um,
curious.
I really like, let me put this down. My favorite ones
Okay.
are probably like my Hocus Pocus
Oh,
ones
yeah,
because I
yeah.
have Billy.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
I love him. He's one of my favorites. That's
Mm-hmm.
one. I also have like a whole Dragon Ball Z collection too. I love Dragon Ball Z. So I
Yeah.
have so many. I have South Park. I'm a huge South Park fan.
Yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
yeah, I have a lot of mostly movie, TV
Mm-hmm.
shows. And then I do have horror stuff too, because I'm a big
Yeah.
like scary movie fan.
Yeah. What would you say is your most prized Funko Pop slash figure?
My favorite one, I don't want to take him. I'll take him out. It's fine. I'll just have to rearrange these. My boyfriend will be mad because he's the one that does it, but it's fine.
Okay. Forgive us.
Yeah, he'll be fine. It's my clear John Cena.
Oh my God, you can't see me. I didn't even know that was a thing.
He
That's
is so funny.
awesome. Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah, that one is definitely one of my favorite ones. Again, when I worked at Hot Topic, there was a
Yeah.
customer that would come in and I was like, "Oh, I'm like training to become a wrestler." And he asked me who my favorite wrestler was, and I told him John Cena, and he gave me that pop.
I love that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Now I want one, even though, like, I mean, I don't know if you've watched, he doesn't like the joke anymore,
I know
unfortunately.
he broke
But
up with me. We've been in a relationship for like 25 years. I'm devastated. It's
no, it's
very
like,
depressing.
oh, goody. Well, we'll talk about WrestleMania in a bit later because it's kind of a central hub for you. But the last time we were talking, you expressed interest in getting out to the East Coast a little bit more. And I've seen your wishes have become a little bit of a reality. And you made it out to Massachusetts, New York. So tell us about your experiences on the East Coast thus far.
It's been really fun. I didn't expect to have as many fans already of me in the East Coast. I was kind of surprised. I did New Jersey for the Intergender Bonanza,
Yeah.
and I had a fan that told me he's been watching me since I started on YouTube, and that was his first time seeing me live. I thought that was insane. And it's just been like very welcoming. Everyone there is very nice and down to earth and very open. So it's been really fun. I've been contemplating moving to the East Coast. I actually really like it.
Okay. Well, we
We'll
would
see.
love to have you here. So I'm curious, as you're kind of dabbling a little bit more in the East Coast, who are some competitors that you're still eyeing to work with that you haven't yet?
I would really like to work Zeta. I would love that. I think we would have such a good like match and we have like a lot of like chemistry. When I met her, we just like were
Hmm.
bouncing off each other. So I think that would be a really fun match. Another one would be Nomi. I think that would be a fun one too. There's a lot actually, because there's so many people like in the East Coast that I've never touched. I've only
Yeah.
wrestled just mostly men on the East Coast. I think the only girls I've wrestled was Angel Metro in New York
Yeah.
and Bonesaw.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, especially in the tri-state area alone, that's a huge hub. And obviously like Massachusetts, like Chaotic, Limitless, like uh Beyond, there's a lot of great promotions up there if you go further up north. So that would be interesting. And just to clarify, you're talking about Zeta Steel?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God. So she's like, I feel like you two have similar like attitudes. Obviously, you're a little lean a little bit more darker, and she's a little bit more like polished, I should say, like, but that would be a fun team too, I feel like
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
we would be
opposites,
diabolical.
but I would love that. The Real Deal and the Misfortune Teller, the Bruja Betty. I would love that.
That would be fun.
Um, it's interesting though you mentioned potentially moving there because actually 2 years ago this month, I believe it was, or last month maybe, you officially moved to Las Vegas. You moved away from New Mexico.
It's been
Um,
2 years.
I know you're permanently in the Las Vegas area. What a great time to be there, especially in the weeks coming up. We'll get to that in a minute. But you had mentioned you had moved there in hopes of climbing to the wrestling mountaintop. Obviously, there's been some highs and lows, and we'll talk about those. But tell us more about your decision to make that leap officially in moving to Las Vegas.
So, being from New Mexico is where I lived my whole life. There's not a
Yeah,
lot of wrestling there. My training was great. I got like my toes in the water, but I feel like I haven't really experienced fully like the
yeah.
wrestling lifestyle until now that I moved to Vegas.
Yeah, I feel like too, there's a lot of opportunities too. I mean, LA is like 4 hours, something like
Yeah.
that. California, you've been working a lot, and obviously Arizona is right below you. You know, you can veer off to the Midwest a little bit too. I feel like it's a booming scene a little bit. Obviously, not as saturated as say like the East Coast or like Texas, but I feel like in the last couple of years, Vegas has been a hot spot, I feel like.
It's definitely grown into a hub. There's so many more promotions out here too,
Yeah.
because you have FSW, you have Pride Style, Big Valley versus like there's so many promotions within the city and there's so many festivals and stuff that happens that wrestling happens at too. Like they do taco fests and all these like different things that it's just more exposure to wrestle.
Yeah, and obviously, like you mentioned before, you put out a kind of post about it too. 2 years has gone by so fast, but like you said, it's been a lot of ups and downs. You were out, I want to say, for about 6 months. You got injured in November of 23 and then returned in May of last year, I believe. You broke your leg. Now you got a steel plate in it, from what I understand, and had a little bit of a ligament repair in your ankle. So tell us how, I believe it was at training of all places. How and when did you sustain your leg injury?
So it happened actually Black Friday of
Oh
2023, so the day
my
after
God.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes. I went back home and I was training in New Mexico. We were
Hmm.
practicing like simple stuff. I was doing a baseball slide between my trainer's legs.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know if I was like tired or if it was cold because we train outside.
Hmm.
So something happened that last time I tried going through and my ankle caught on his ankle and mine just snapped. So yeah, I had to get surgery. I have a steel plate and I think like 8 or 7 screws that hold it all in place.
So that sounds like a really kind of like serious leg and ankle injury then.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. Like some doctors were like, some people don't usually go back to wrestling and to
Yeah.
sports after this sort of thing, but I was super determined to come back. I like made it a huge point to take my rehab seriously and my recovery and come back like a completely different wrestler.
Yeah, so talk to us about the process of recovering. I mean, physically and mentally. Also, like, this is like maybe 6 months after you moved to Vegas. You know, you were probably so excited, and then to have this like setback, I feel like kind of early on in your Vegas, I have to imagine maybe affected you a little bit. So tell us about your recovery physically and mentally.
Physically, I feel like that was kind of the easy part in a way, just because I got my routine down of what I needed to do, got in the
Yeah.
gym, got in better shape, was able to kind of get in the ring a little bit. But like mentally, like you said, I was here for 6 months, finally trying to like make my place in the
Yeah.
Vegas scene, and that had to happen. So it was a huge letdown to me. And it took like a big impact on me mentally because my boyfriend's a wrestler and he was still wrestling at the time. So I was
Yeah.
still around it, but I couldn't do it. So it really like kind of made me want to work harder when I was able to.
Well, that's good because I know a lot of people can maybe see only the setback, but you obviously saw the comeback too as well. And I'm obviously this is during the holidays. I guess if there's any time to be injured, it'd be during the I mean, the silver lining during the holidays, you're kind of chilling with family at least then. Um, but did you discover any new passions or hobbies while you were away from the ring, or how did you allocate your time?
Um, that's kind of yes and kind of no.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on TikTok, but which led to more of like me taking my fitness and nutrition and stuff like that more
Hmm.
seriously, which definitely benefited me coming back on a physical level and like on a strength level. So that was something that I kind of picked up. And I also started making merchandise.
Yeah.
So I press all of my own t-shirts and like I make hats and stuff, and I started doing it for other people. So it was kind of cool to be able to like pick that up as like a side gig and like a
Hmm.
little passion project that I can put my time into now.
I think we were talking last time. You've kind of maybe I don't know, remember if you designed some of your own ring gears into. I know like your sunglasses. I mean, that was a big part of your identity. Have you been making gears like as well for yourself, or maybe bedazzling? I know some people like just bedazzle their own stuff.
I tried bedazzling my own boots, but it did
Okay.
not work out. So I was like, no, never mind. I used to draw my own ring gear and I would like
Ah,
give it to people and they would
yeah.
design it for me. So the last two sets I have a guy that lives out in California and I kind of gave him the concept and he ran with
Mhm.
it and I was really happy with it. So I kind of drew that out. And my other gear guy, he actually draws everything out himself and I just kind of give him
Mhm.
full reign on it.
Yeah, and we were talking last time too. You've had obviously some Mortal Kombat inspired gear. You were the last time I talked to you, you were looking to get some Joshi gear done. So tell us about some of the inspirations behind or stories behind some of your newer gear.
My newer one, so like I have the pink holographic one and I have
Yes.
one that's yellow. It
Yeah.
was like kind of Power Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really liked like the yellow and the pink Power Ranger. I thought it looked kind of cute. So I just kind of ran with that. And then my boots are holographic. And so is my entrance jacket. So I try and incorporate that into like every piece of gear that I have. So that was
Yeah.
like the inspiration going into these. I do have a new set of gear that's coming in. Huge Dragon Ball Z fan. So I got Broly inspired gear.
Okay.
So I'm super excited for that one.
Ooh, I'm not one who's quite familiar with Dragon Ball Z, I'm gonna be honest with you. Are you super into like anime and like the animated series and stuff like that?
I like the very few animes. So I
Okay.
like the Studio Ghibli films. Like I actually have
Ooh,
quite a
okay.
few tattoos. So like this
Yeah.
one is from Ponyo, and then I have like one of the cats from Kiki's Delivery Service. I have
Hmm.
the little funny guy from Spirited Away. So I do
Hmm.
like the films and Dragon Ball Z. And I like Death Note. Other than that, I haven't really found a lot of animes that I like.
Are you okay? So like, I'm gonna be honest. Like the only I don't know. I don't think you count Pokemon as anime, but it's animated. I was into that, and
Yeah,
Sailor Moon does count. That is really
Sailor
the
Moon.
only one
Yes.
that like I for you like into Sailor Moon as well. 'Cause that's really the only one I was ever into. I'm gonna be honest.
I do like the Studio Ghibli films. Like, I would
Okay.
highly suggest watching those.
Ooh.
They're really good. Spirited Away is my favorite one.
Uh-huh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's that one
Def-
about? For
It's
for
about
anybody who's like new and me wanting to learn about it.
it's about this little girl who goes like with her parents. They're like moving, and like the concept of it is like they get put under like a spell basically, and like she has to go work at like a bathhouse and try and find her way out of this
Hmm.
bathhouse of like this evil witch that's like put a spell on
Okay.
everything. So it's really fun. It's cute. I like it a lot. They have like really cute characters in it.
I should have known. I mean, into the witchy vibes, so I can get that
Yeah.
too. So I might like that too. I like the witchy vibes too as well. We were talking about that last time, so that might be something. It's called Spirited Away, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. Do you know what it streams on?
I know they're all on Max. Like all of the
Okay.
Studio Ghibli films are all on there.
Okay. Well, good to know. I'll have to check it out. It sounds interesting. I like kind of that like magical kind of realm and stuff like that. So I'll have to check it out.
Definitely. Yeah. Check that one out for sure.
Yeah. Now, kind of back to you're back in action now. You returned to action, I believe, in May of last year. So it's coming up on almost a year now, 11 months. How is your leg and ankle feeling now? What is its current state like?
It feels great. I do have days where I'm like, oh my God, my ankle hurts so bad. Like long
Mm-hmm.
travel days usually,
Yeah.
or like long weekends. But for the most part, I'm like 100%. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot more like painful, like coming back
Mm-hmm.
into wrestling. But I feel like I just like dove right in.
Do you like and again, I have no idea. Do you feel like the steel plate like in your leg? Like can you feel it or like yeah? Like
Yeah.
can you
So
kind of describe that? I'm so curious.
it's so weird because like it's on the outside of my
Okay.
leg, right? So like I can feel it and I can like feel the screws like when I touch my
Oh,
leg. But
yeah.
the weirdest thing is when I'm shaving
Oh
because I
yeah.
can't feel it. It's like numb all on that side because it's just a still plate.
Yeah.
And one of my screws is actually broken.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so I can feel it poking out of like the other side of my leg. And it would be a like huge major surgery to get it removed.
Yeah.
So I'm just keeping it in until I have to get it taken out. So fingers crossed that's no
And
time soon.
yeah. I'm just trying to like imagine the sense. Like, does it feel like really like hard, like on or like flat? Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm trying
it's
to
like
like
hard and you can
imagine.
feel like it's basically like this is my leg and then you feel like this little metal piece that just kind of
Yeah.
starts and it's just hard all the way down.
Wait, how long is it? How big is
Um,
it?
so like this long.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not like super long, but still.
Yeah, it's enough to be like I can feel it, but
Okay.
it's not like
Yeah.
big enough that it comes all the way up my leg. That would be insane. Oh my
Hmm.
God.
It's kind of badass though. You're bionic now.
Yeah, bionic Bruja Batty.
It works for you.
It
That's
does.
cool. I have to imagine though. I'm just, you know what? Kudos to you for coming back to a whole new person and all of that. But it
Thank
is
you.
it is funny though. You know, you've been back, but I feel like the lead up to your return had some great moments as well. I mean, you were featured in PWI. You also got to do some extra work with TNA, I believe, alongside AJ Francis. So tell us about your experience working and appearing in TNA in the lead up to your return.
It was really cool to be able to do that before coming back.
Yeah.
TNA was in Vegas doing their tapings and being like the main school here, we got to do extra work and ring crew and stuff. And honestly, shout out Chris Bey because at the time he was there, you know, doing the tapings and stuff. And he
Yeah.
was like, hey, we're probably going to need extras for AJ. Like, would you be
Mhm.
down? And I was like, duh, like, dude, of
Mhm.
course. Like, why wouldn't I? So, yeah, like, if it wasn't for Chris, I probably wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. So it was like really awesome that he did that. And AJ Francis, it was cool to be part of that little crew. He was like doing his whole thing with Joe Hendry at the time.
Yeah.
So it was super fun to be able to see how TNA does their stuff because I have worked for AEW before and
Yeah.
NXT. So it was cool to be able to like experience all three and their different like elements of what they like to
Mhm.
do.
I feel like it's also a good like learning opportunity because I mean I can't assume, but there are a lot of veterans back there. I mean Gail Kim is back there. Joe Hendry is coming up on being a 10-year vet. You know, Nick Nemeth is there, Tommy Dreamer. Did you have an opportunity at all to like pick anyone's brain while you were there or get feedback?
I did get to have a little conversation with Tommy Dreamer, and it
Yeah.
was kind of funny because he was talking to another wrestler, and I couldn't pass through because
Oh,
they were like filming something. So I was like
yeah.
stuck there. So I kind of had to listen to their conversation, and he looked at me and he was like, "This is actually good for you to know too." And he
Mhm.
just was like, giving me his knowledge that he was giving another wrestler, even though it
Mhm.
didn't specifically pertain to me. I
Yeah.
thought it was cool that he was like, let's include you in this conversation since you're already there. So being able to like get that kind of like not feedback directly, but hearing like, hey, make sure you put yourself out there and like always letting like TNA know that
Mhm.
you're going to be in town so that way if something happens we can contact you. So
Yeah.
it was cool to be able to hear someone of like that level in the company say that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the next step is getting you a TNA debut sometime. So fingers crossed with
Hopefully.
that. We'll talk about Chris Bey in a second, but one of your highs, after that now is you are now the FSW Women's Champion. You defeated Alice Blair at No Escape Apocalypse, actually earlier this month, I believe. It's still March at the time of recording this. Take us back to that moment. How did it feel winning the FSW Women's Championship?
It was really fun leading up to the cage match because I never get to be part of like big storylines at
Hmm.
shows. Most of the time, they're like one offs or like random matches,
Hmm.
which is cool and all. But being able to tell a story and build up behind a match, it was really awesome. And it was fun to do it with Alice because
Yeah.
I feel like me and her were kind of like the outcasts when it came to a lot of stuff at FSW. So we didn't get a lot of the same opportunities that some other people would get. So for me and
Hmm.
her to be able to have that moment of being like, hey, this is why we matter at this promotion and we're girls that put in work and let's show you what we can do. So I'm really glad that I got to do it with Alice. It was my first cage match. So that was
Wow.
intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a feat in and of itself. I think I may be wrong. Was this your first title like in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I have to imagine that's another milestone to a big high. You moved to Vegas for some opportunities. I have to imagine that felt kind of validating in a sense too.
It really did. I almost started crying when I won. I had to kind of like hold it together and like bring
Yeah.
myself in the moment. Like my parents were there front row. So it was really awesome to be able to see where I've came because, I moved to Vegas, was trying to get opportunities, climbing the ladder, was getting traction, broke my leg.
Yeah.
Came back, was like, no, I'm going to do this and make a name for myself and I'm going to go as far as I possibly can. And I did it, which is kind of crazy to say like it was a big goal of mine.
And now you are representing FSW. You are basically the face of the women's division. So obviously a big crowning moment, but now there is work to be done, my friend.
Yep.
And you have already been put to work. We talked about him a little bit earlier. You were involved in FSW's Beynefit for Bay, which man, shout out to Chris Bey. I saw clips of it, obviously wasn't there, but I saw clips of him walking with Brittany Brooks in the ring. This was a big event raising funds for him. Also the host for your first title defense against Katie Forbes. Tell us about your experience working with Katie.
It was really fun. Katie's really, she's what you see is what you get. Like
Yeah.
she's so out there and she's so unapologetically herself.
Hmm.
And she was really fun to work with. I'm glad that we were able to do this for Chris and get like a lot of rally and love behind the show. So it was really awesome to be able to do it with Katie and then having RVD ringside. That was
Yeah.
like even a crazier element to
Mhm.
have on top of it.
Yeah, this was again a big event for Chris Bey, who lives in Las Vegas as well. Unfortunately suffered a severe neck injury last October, is now walking again. Like what a miracle. I should say learning to walk again. That was an emotional moment, I have to imagine. Tell us more about the environment and your experience partaking in the event.
It was honestly so surreal to be a part of something where there's just so much love and positive energy that you feel like
Mhm.
radiating from the locker room to the security to the fans to production. Everyone was there to show Chris how much we loved him. And it's making me like emotional talking about it because being able to be there and be in the locker room and see Chris define what like doctors told him he couldn't do. It was just such an awesome moment. And Chris like became a mentor to me being in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I was like honored that he wanted me to be a part of the show, honestly.
Yeah, I it warms my heart too to be able to see also people from who are like 5 years ago, people who are signed. Like you had WWE, AEW, you had TNA, you had a lot of indie talent. It was kind of like a all for one, people coming together for him. Like you said, he was been kind of a mentor for you. He helped kind of lead the way, pave the way for your appearance in TNA. What are some of your other fond memories with Chris Bey?
Some of my fond memories are hit with him are just like him taking time out of his day to give me feedback and to watch my
Mhm.
match. Like he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like Chris doesn't have to sit there and be like, oh, like next time do this or next time do that. You could have flowed better with this or let's tighten up that move. Like, people don't have to do that in wrestling. And for him to be able to take that time really meant a lot. Another moment is working out with him. I got to like work out with him in the gym and just like see how hard he pushes himself and get his knowledge on like something other than wrestling, and hanging out with him with an environment that wasn't in wrestling was really fun because he's such a funny guy. Like he's always a positive light no
Yeah.
matter what state you see him in.
Yeah, he seems like it. I met him once at TNA Multiverse of Matches 2 years ago. He had such a great spirit in and of itself too, and obviously we hope the best recovery for him. It's even a miracle that he's like learning to walk again. Close call. So all the support too. Hopefully too we get some more events like this too. This just seemed like a really fun event in general,
Oh
honestly.
yeah.
Like there was so many different names there. Like you had Johnny TV, you had Brian Cage was there. You mentioned RVD. You were there. What a stacked lineup too, as well.
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to see all of these stars come together and then
Yeah.
mesh with the FSW locker room.
Yeah.
Like it was just one big giant family. It was super cool to be a part of.
Yeah, and FSW will obviously be running WrestleMania weekend because that is in Las Vegas. It's in your backyard.
Yep, it's
Um,
going to be insane.
there will be a future legend women's tournament, so I have to imagine that is something you will be keeping your eye on as the FSW women's champion.
I'm like, Joe, don't be a coward. Let me put the title on the line to whoever wins this tournament. I can't be in it. I'm over 25, but it's going to be definitely fun to watch because these women are going to be the next up, the next
Hmm.
generation, the ones that are going to
Yeah.
carry this to the next level, the next 10 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have all the names on it yet, but we have Brittany Brooks, who we mentioned earlier, obviously Zeta Steele, Jasmine Allure, Brooke Havoc, Maggie Lee, Maya World, Jada Stone, and a lot more other names. So you've worked with several of these names. Is there one that you're or maybe predicting to be the winner of this?
I have a couple guesses. One of them is
Okay. Of
Brittany. I gotta root for my girl.
course.
She's Vegas
Mm-hmm.
now. She's part of the family, so I gotta root for Brittany. But I feel like it would be fun if it was like Maya World.
Hmm.
She's so good and she's so up and rising right now that I feel like she's gonna be one of the ones that gets signed and picked up soon.
I
So I feel
agree.
like it would be fun to be able to just watch this to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine you might not get like defend your title there, but I would have to imagine like the winner of this would get a shot at some point down the line. Like we deserve that.
Right? Like eventually make this happen. I feel like it
Yeah.
would be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a busy weekend for you. Luckily, you don't have to go far. You will be competing at Podermania on April 18th, another all women's event. You'll also be at New Tradition Lucha Libre on April 16th. What are your other plans for WrestleMania weekend? Where can the people find you out and
Uh,
about during that week?
I'm happy that there's so many all women shows
Yeah,
happening. Yes, I'm excited about that. I do have NTLL New Tradition
yeah.
the first day of Mania week. And then Thursday, I have Winner Circle, which is a promotion out in California. They're
Okay.
running here. I do have phase one starting off the show. It'll be fun because I'm actually tagging for that show with my boyfriend against another Vegas local and Dark Chic. So that'll be a super fun match.
Yeah.
And then Friday, I do have Poder, and then I have Versus, which is a Vegas local promotion, and then FSW. And I think I have maybe one or two other ones that I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything, but we're going to
Mhm.
see how they go. Hopefully, some other stuff comes up. I just want to stay booked and busy.
Yeah, but all I also, you mean you sound booked and busy. That itself I think is like 6 shows and there's still like one or two that like you're kind of secret. Hopefully, so you have to stay tuned to Gypsy's social medias
Yes.
for that, for the whole schedule. So booked and busy, and like I said, you don't have to go far. It's right in your backyard. I did enjoy your tweet though, about people hitting you up for, Vegas and then the girl like drinking the milk. That was funny. I have to imagine that your inbox is so full for that week.
It's so funny because like I had so many people, like people I don't even know, like messaging me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, do I know who you are? Like, why are you asking? I'm like, hit up these promotions that are running. I can't really
Yeah,
help you more than that.
that's funny. Uh that's honestly though, that's kind of clutch though that like 2 years in, like you're getting a big Mania weekend and like a lot of bookings. So it kind of worked out, despite everything. Now, if people are going to Las Vegas for the first time, what are some eateries or places you would recommend they visit?
I'm so bad. I don't go anywhere. I don't go
Honestly,
anywhere, but
I feel that.
there's a couple of places. My favorite sushi place is called Love
Hmm.
Paradise, and it's actually like maybe 10 minutes from the
Okay.
FSW arena. I really
Hmm.
like to get sushi there. I do love Pink Box Donuts.
Okay,
Definitely
so I was talking
recommend.
with Bryn Thorne like literally a couple days ago, and she also told me to go to Pink Box, like that it was
Yes.
really good.
Go.
Okay.
There's so many locations too. So there's
Hmm.
one actually like 15 minutes from FSW, but there's
Hmm.
a lot of different locations. They need to put one in the airport.
Oh, there's not. Interesting.
No. Yeah, they need to make one at the airport, but I love Pink Box. Highly recommend. So many fun donuts. What's somewhere else that I go? I'm so terrible. I don't go anywhere. I go to the same I eat Taco Bell all the time.
Love Taco Bell.
Ugh, who does it?
Oh, I get that though. Like I
But
order in all the time or get the same stuff, so I get it.
I'm just so busy that I don't have time to like go. There's places I want to go check out. Like there's this
Mhm.
place called Stay Tuned, and it's like a 90s themed burger joint, and everything
Ooh.
there is just like it looks like it's stuck in Nickelodeon in like the early
Huh.
2000s.
Yeah.
I want to go there so bad. So if you guys go there, let me know.
Well, I mean, I know you're booked and busy, but you have to have some time to enjoy. Also, remember to enjoy
Yeah,
yourself, Gypsy. Like
I do.
it is.
Yeah, reminder.
I have to ask because we were mentioning your Funko Pop collection. You have three Seth Rollinses, if that's the correct plural form. Obviously he's in a big match at WrestleMania, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Maybe it is Seth Rollins. This I feel like look, I mean, it's not confirmed to be a main event, but to me this is like a main event match right here. Like this, I don't know who to choose between these three. So I mean, what are your predictions for this one?
It's definitely a huge matchup. Definitely
Mhm.
something I didn't see 5 years
Oh
ago,
yeah, yeah.
especially with like how Roman is now and how
Hmm.
Seth is now. I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be a fun dynamic.
Hmm.
I don't know who's going to, for some reason, part of me thinks CM Punk is going to win. That's not who I'm rooting for, but
Okay.
part of me feels that way. I hope it's Roman or Seth. I'm biased. I have three Roman Reigns figures too,
Oh,
or
you
two.
do.
Yeah, they're tied up there.
Are you a Shield girly?
Yes,
Okay.
I
That
was.
makes
Yeah.
sense then. Yeah.
But always
Okay.
Team Rollins. I think it was the blonde stripe in his hair.
So I was also like a huge Rollins girl, like in the Shield days. Like it was Rollins. I mean, I'm whatever I'm ranking them. It was Rollins, Dean, and then Roman. I was never been a Roman fan. Like I will say he's grown on me a little bit since he's dropped the title. Like, but like I agree with you, Seth Rollins.
Uh,
I don't know, like I think I'm also rooting for Rollins, but like there's that Paul Heyman factor. Like, is Paul gonna side with his money man Roman? He owes like this favor to Punk, but then also like we just saw John Cena turn heel. Is Paul Heyman gonna turn and like line up with Seth Rollins? Like, there's so
uh,
many things
oh
that could
my God.
happen.
think about that.
People
Oh,
are saying
that's
that. Like that would be the swerve. Like if honestly, if we saw John Cena turn heel, like anything can happen in my mind.
hey, you're right about that. Because I
Hmm.
didn't even think about Paul Heyman
Yeah.
turning and siding with Seth. That would be
Hmm.
such like a wow.
I
That's
think
good.
if Seth were to win, I think that would be the way to do it.
Now you know what? Now I want that to happen. That's what's gonna happen. I'm putting it out there. I need that now.
You mentioned John Cena earlier. He broke up with all of us, unfortunately. What has been your reaction to his heel turn so far?
I love it. I think it's great. It's refreshing. Like I think everyone wanted babyface Cena and like, Mr. Make-A-Wish Foundation, but I like seeing him in this different light because I think it's something that we would have never got to see ever if
Absolutely.
WWE didn't make this change. So
Hmm.
I'm excited for it. I'm happy to see where it goes. I'm sad. John Cena was one of like my favorites since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's bittersweet, but I'm excited that they're doing something new.
It's so strange still, like booing. Okay, so I don't know if you've watched it yet, but it's so weird to hear in the crowd say F you, like you've seen her and then shut the it's so like I have to get used to it. Like I'm here for it, but like also that poor kid, I'm sure you saw that poor kid is just now a meme and he pointed him out again this week.
I
He's
have him
basically
saved in
saying,
my phone.
honestly, he's a solid meme. That poor
He
kid.
is. Oh, he is like that poor kid. But hey, I'm excited for when that kid debuts in
Yeah.
wrestling like 10 years from now
Yeah.
and he's evil because of John Cena.
Hmm. His villain origin story, honestly, I'm
Yeah,
here for it.
that's
John Cena
that's
could
my
be his
goat right there.
manager. Honestly, John Cena could be his manager potentially. That'd be
Yes,
interesting.
that would be. Oh, that poor kid. But hey, he was famous. He's still famous. John Cena's still talking about him.
Literally, he just talked about him on today's episode. We're recording on a Monday, and today's episode of Raw, he basically said "f that kid" without saying "f that kid." So that poor kid. But he's gonna be a meme. He's gonna be WWE champion one day.
He is. We're putting this out there.
I'm so curious though, in your own career, a couple more questions for you. Obviously, you are now the FSW Women's Champion. What are some of your other personal and professional goals for 2025 and beyond?
I for 2025, I do want to get out of the country. I haven't gone international yet, and I feel like
Ah,
it's time. Yeah, like definitely want to go to Japan and Europe for sure. That's one of my big goals for 2025. Another is I would like to get as many titles as possible.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm fighting for another one this weekend at East Los Lucha. It's the first ever women's championship match, and it's in a ladder match. And it's me and Delilah Doom,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
very excited. Yeah.
Again, I don't know. Have you competed in a ladder match? I know you just had your first cage match. Have you been in a ladder match before? Oh, so you're testing yourself this month, my friend.
I am. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. But hey, I watched a lot of Jeff Hardy growing up. He was one of my favorites, still
Hmm.
is. So I think I got it. It should be fine.
Just be careful, please.
Yeah, I will. I will. Yeah. I'm a
As,
little
as
intimidated. I'm slightly afraid of heights, just a little bit, but it'll be fine. Hopefully.
Is this the one where it's hanging from the top? Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you're gonna have to, if you want to win, you're gonna have to climb
Yeah,
up
I'm gonna have
that.
to climb up the ladder, or maybe I can make someone else do it for me.
That's true.
No one said I had to get the
There
title.
is no DQ. I mean, okay, you could like pull a Carmella, like Money in the Bank, and just have
Exactly.
somebody toss the title to you.
Hey, I might do that.
That's a
Might be
smart
easier.
strategy. There's no disqualifications, no countouts. You can pretty much do anything.
Exactly. So you know what, Delilah, you better be ready.
Use your brain. Work smarter, not harder.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
I'm curious then, as you're kind of exploring, I guess, your more wild, adventurous side in wrestling, are there any other match stipulations that you'd like to tackle that you haven't yet?
I do want to do a table ladders and like chairs match or like
Mhm.
table ladders doors, something,
Yeah.
something fun like that. I do want to have like a hardcore match.
Hmm.
I think that would be fun. I had one like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was fun, but I was terrified because it was my first one. But
Hmm.
now that I'm like more comfortable in wrestling in general, I think it would be fun to like go back and like visit that.
What would your or I guess what was your weapon of choice then in that instance?
Kendo stick. Yeah.
It hurts. Yeah. I mean, that
Yeah.
looks like it hurts,
I've been hit
honestly.
with it the wrong way. So I was like facing this way and she
Okay.
came down perpendicularly
Oh
instead of
yeah.
like, yeah, so it hit me in the head and
My God.
that, yeah, that was terrible.
My God. Well, I guess at least you're used to it, or maybe you
Yeah.
can like dodge it,
Maybe
you
now I
know?
have some XP that like I can dodge it this time or see
Yeah.
it coming. I don't know.
Oh my God. Well, the ladders match coming up is gonna set maybe the stage for your T. You'll get used to the ladders a little bit, and then maybe sets the stage for a TLC or a TLS, if they call it that, tables, ladders,
Yeah.
and stairs or doors, TLD. Um,
Stairs is different.
yeah,
Ah, okay. All right. I'm
interesting.
saving that one. Maybe that one.
Final question. At the time of recording this, it is Women's History Month. Who are some women in we're talking about all women's events. Who are some women in or outside of wrestling who inspire or empower you?
Definitely my mom comes to mind. She did everything for us to be able to like let us live out the life that we want to live. And to this day, she's so supportive of me following my dream of being a wrestler. Of course, have to give her a shout out. And then in wrestling, one of my biggest inspirations and someone that I've looked up to a lot in the last couple of years has been Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
So she's someone that I saw like body positivity in because I've really changed the way that I looked in the last couple of years and seeing Jordan like be comfortable in her own skin and being like, hey, like this is who I am. I'm a big, strong girl, like, and now seeing like she's taking herself to the next level. And I've really enjoyed following that journey. And I kind of see myself in her. So it's really inspiring to see her be from TNA all the way up to where she's at now on. Sorry, my cat was yelling.
It's all good. I
But
didn't hear
see,
it.
that's good. She was loud. But seeing Jordan, go from TNA all the way up to WWE now has just been really inspiring to be like, I can do it too.
Mhm. Now I have to ask, have you seen her recent outfit with like Patrick Star and her boots and all that?
I
I need to ask your thoughts on that.
She kills that outfit. I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie. But oh my god, she's so funny. I love following her on social media and on
Uh-huh.
Twitter. She's
Mhm.
hilarious. I knew like when she got the boot, she was probably like, this is gonna be the greatest outfit idea ever.
Mhm.
I was all for it. I think she should do it more. I
Is
need
this
the SpongeBob now. Like, the SpongeBob with like the wizard and like, yep, she
yeah.
needs to do that now.
Oh my God. The one that's hanging from like strings that I'm imagining.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just need Jordan Grace now to do like iconic SpongeBob outfits.
I need her to do Squilliam Fancy Sun. I don't know how she would do it,
But she'd do
but I
it.
want her to do it. I agree. And she's got to play the clarinet somehow. I wonder if she can. I, I need to we need to ask her. Do you have any like musical talents? Because if she could play the clarinet like Squidward, that's a win.
That is a win.
I'm curious.
Give her that
Hmm.
title right now if she can do that.
Honestly, I agree. Even if she can't, I mean like her
Yes.
versus her versus Stephanie right now, who's the double champ. I mean, I would love to see that. Give her both titles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
agree
was funny.
100%.
She's hilarious too, and unapologetically herself. Shout out to Jordan Grace.
Yes, she is an angel.
Although sometimes she can be a little troublemaker, but yeah, I admire it. She's unapologetically herself. So
Yeah.
you have to admire that. Obviously, though, before we let you go, Gypsy, please let the listeners know where they can find you and your shirts online.
So you can find me on Twitter at just Gypsy Mac, and then on Instagram I'm the Gypsy Mac. I do sell all of my merchandise like directly through me.
Okay.
So if you want anything, just DM me or email me. I'm really good about answering things most of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do have like a pro wrestling tees, but that is like super outdated and is like my first design. So
It's
get
fun
at
to
me
look
for new
back on
designs.
though. Yeah. I mean, I love that too. I'm so curious, who are some wrestlers that you've designed shirts for?
I've done Damian Drake's. I've
Hmm.
done Jay Vidal's. I just did some for him. Who else have I done? Oh, I've done Chris Bey shirts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shout
So
out to Chris Bey. Support Chris Bey as well. I believe his GoFundMe is still set up. Shout out to him and all the strength. And hopefully, I mean, I would love another if we could get another Beynefit for Bey. That was a great card and just keep celebrating him and good luck in his recovery as well.
yep.
Um, and don't forget to follow Gypsy all throughout WrestleMania week. She is booked and busy like every day. So if you're in there, I'm sure you can find her some one day in there. Just keep following her on social media. Gypsy, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.